Derek Horne, welcome back.
Hey, hey, Jacques. How's everything in Santa Fe?
Oh, it's good. It's great to see you, man. How have you been?
Can't complain. Southern California for the winter. Um, yep. And I'm really looking forward to avoiding the cold winter in Park City this year. I'm looking forward to another virtual Sundance, by the cozy fireplace and watching films in my PJs.
That's right. Today we're talking Sundance in our pajamas, and this will be the second year that we've attended Sundance virtually. But God, we must have gone for me about 8 or 9 years in a row before that, and you many more, maybe even many more.
Yeah, I
And
started in what, 93 or 94 was the first Sundance I attended, and I didn't miss a year until the pandemic last year. So,
so before we get into all of this, I do want to let people know that they can watch these videos on YouTube. Our channel is youtube.com/film talk radio. And then new shows are each week on KTRC. We're talking with Derek Horne. He's the short film programmer for the Santa Fe Independent Film Festival, and he's
woohoo!
the director of programming for the Annapolis Film Festival. And this year we're attending Sundance Film Festival from our pajamas, and we're going to talk about some of the movies that we're excited about, and plus just have a great time with Derek as usual. So, do you want to talk a little bit about Annapolis before we get into these Sundance movies? I know you're coming up in just a couple months.
Yeah, it's going to be our big 10th anniversary festival. I think, when did Santa Fe already, you celebrated your 10th a couple of years ago?
Yeah, we're doing 14 this year, so we're kind of getting ready for that big 15th anniversary.
Ah, awesome. Well, we're right behind you here, and we take place March 31st through April 3rd, and the program's already starting to come together. Very excited. I have some great films lined up that I saw at the European film market last year that I quickly reserved for this year. And I'll be seeing more films at the European film market next month, which will probably go for next year's festival or quicker, sooner at Santa Fe next October, hopefully. And and then Sundance, of course, starts tonight. So one great thing about being an industry member at Sundance is you get sent a link to all the short films ahead of time, so you can get those shorts out of the way before you plunge into the feature films. And I have to put a quick plug for two of my favorite short films I saw that are in the Sundance lineup this year, and I encourage everyone to try to reserve a ticket for whatever shorts program these two films are in. So, can I talk about them?
Oh, please.
All right. So one of them is called Shark, and it's by Nash Edgerton, and it's the third short film in a trilogy that all started years ago with a short film called Spider. And so those of you who may have seen it, I think it's available on YouTube to watch if you just search for it. It's the quintessential twist joke short. And in fact, whenever I give lectures to student filmmakers or asking about what type of films do well at festivals, I always use this short as an example. It's called Spider, and it's all about this guy played by the director Nash Edgerton, who loves to play pranks on his girlfriends. So in the first short, he puts a fake plastic spider on the console of the car, and you can imagine the havoc that ensues. The second short film was called Bear, and I think he wears a bear costume in the woods, and you can imagine what, and both of these films, by the way, played at Sundance. Well, the third final climactic short is playing this year at Sundance, and it's called Shark. So you can imagine what that entails with like a fake shark fin. But the real twist is that in this episode, he has met his match in his girlfriend, played by Rose Byrne. We all love Rose Byrne, incredible Australian actress. You always forget she's Australian because she does a perfect American accent. But in this, she plays his Australian girlfriend, and she loves playing pranks on him. So they're both trying to out prank each other, and I'm not going to tell you where it goes from there, but definitely Shark is a lot of fun. And then my other favorite film is called Love Stories on the Move, and it's a Romanian short film from the film school in Romania. And it was so funny when I was first watching it. I didn't know where the film was from. I know that the characters were talking about San Remo, and I thought, is this in Italy? And I know that, you know, Italian language and Romanian language, they're both, you know, Romance languages, and to me, they sound a bit similar. But at some point, I just said, you know, I bet this is Romanian, because Romanian films are so good that I just knew it had to be Romanian based on how good it was. And sure enough, when I got to the end credits and saw the Romanian film school, I thought, ha, I know my Romanian cinema. I always say Romanian cinema is like, it has the passion and poetry of Italian cinema, but the practical and very satisfying storytelling skills of German cinema. So shout out to Romanian cinema and this incredible short film called Love Stories on the Move, about a woman who drives a taxi and all the different relationships and going on in the back seat that kind of mirror what's going on in her own life. So it is the perfect type of story to tell in the short film format. You know, it's perfectly contained, and those are my favorite kind of short films. I'm not a big fan of shorts that are just a proof of concept for a feature film. It just almost feels like they're using the short film as a tool to get something else done. I like to celebrate the artistry of an actual short film that was made just to be a short film. It's almost like the artistry of it's like a good short story told well, you know? So Love Stories on the Move. Her name is, I think, Cara, C-A-R-A. I want to get her name so I can, because she wrote it and directed it, and I am really looking forward to following her career. Her name is Karina Gabriela Dasovianu, and yeah, she's one to watch. And so there you have it. Also very excited about some of the feature films in the lineup. One of them is called Emergency, and it's based on Carrie Williams' short film Emergency that we played at both Santa Fe and Annapolis in the past. So this is a...
Hey, Derek, maybe that's a good time to mention some of the short films that you programmed for the Santa Fe Independent Film Festival in October.
Yep. Okay.
That are now nominated for Academy Awards. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. So we have all three categories. Our films are on the short list of all three categories: animation, documentary, and narrative, or they just call it short film category. And the one that's in the short film narrative category, we actually might have two in there, but I know one of them, which won our jury prize last year, called The Criminals, which was actually my favorite short film at Sundance last year. And I loved that film, and it ended up winning the Best Screenwriting Award at Sundance, and it won our jury award at Santa Fe. It's now on the short list. I hope it wins an Oscar. It's a Turkish film, you know, about the two lovers who are trying to find a hotel room for the night, and there's very strict rules about you have to be a married couple to share a hotel room. So they go through all these different tricky means to try to get this hotel room. It's called The Criminals. And another film that we had, a documentary called Sophie and the Baron, which is now on the short list for the documentary Oscar. And that, I was so happy to program that at Santa Fe because it's about artists, and Santa Fe is such an artist town. And in fact, this was the first year we did two documentary programs. There were so many good docs. We did a separate one just devoted to artist shorts, and Sophie and the Baron was one of those, and it won our audience award. And then the animated short that won our jury prize is called Affairs of the Art, and it's a British-Canadian co-production, I think, and that was very charming, hilarious animation that we played, and I believe it's that filmmaker's third in a trilogy as well. So gotta love these trilogies. And yeah, there was one other film that I just want to mention. I want to give a shout out to that was another favorite at Sundance last year. It was called Like the Ones I Used to Know. It was a film from Quebec, and it won our audience award at Annapolis, but I also played it at Santa Fe, and it was my other favorite at Sundance last year. So try to check out all these films, try to find these short films wherever you can. They're worth taking a look at.
We're talking with Santa Fe Independent Film Festival's short film programmer, Derek Horne, and we'll be right back.